Dr. Evil. I didn't spend 6 years in evil medical school to be called Mr. Thank you very much.
Dr. Bones, Dr. Bones, Dr. Bones.
This is Joe Butts, and you're listening to Dr. Bones.
Good evening, this is Dr. Bones live here for another New Music Saturday, along with my special guests, as always, Nolan and Catherine from the Mad Andersons. Welcome back to the show, guys.
Thanks. Hey everybody.
Thank you, Brian.
So that obviously was a clip from, I actually got him to do me a promo at the end of the show, but that was Joe Burt, who did play with Black Sabbath and Freddie Mercury and the Bright Sets Orchestra, and he's got a brand new album out called Indestructible. And let me tell you, he was one of the nicest guys I've ever interviewed, and like literally an actual legendary rock star on the show. And let me tell you, I was on cloud 9, and he was such a nice man. It was such a fun and good time.
Yeah, and that was, as we've said before the show, it was such a great interview. You did a wonderful job. He was so gracious. It was just really enjoyable from start to finish.
Yeah, it was very fun to hear a little backstory on some of the stuff, and then he got in there and promoted his album, and it was a very well-run interview. I loved it.
Well, you know, the thing I like the most about it, because, and I was kind of thinking about this the entire time, is I obviously, had him on to talk about the album, and I was thinking, well, I did want to ask him about the past, but I was somewhat leery of it, just because a lot of times these guys, they don't mind talking about the past, but they want to talk about it too much. But
right.
the fact that he was gracious enough to talk about it was awesome, and it was really cool to be able to tell people, well, what'd you do this afternoon? It's like, well, no, I talked to Joe Burt, he played with Black Sabbath, told me a story about Tony Iommi taking his fingertips off, like.
Yeah. That was quite the story.
When he said that, I can just picture it happening too. And if people, I know I told it, but people didn't know the backstory. The backstory is before Tony Iommi officially kind of dedicated everything to Black Sabbath, his last day on the job he worked at got the end of his fingers sliced off. So that's what makes his guitar style so unique.
Yeah, that just makes me hurt.
Yeah, it kind of makes you cringe just a little bit, eh?
Yes, definitely.
But still, like, a very cool guy. And of course, later on, because obviously everybody who listened to the interview heard the cat meowing, and later on, Joe's wife posted a picture of the cat saying the culprit.
Oh, I have to look at that.
Yeah.
That was a loud cat.
Yeah, I was I was surprised, and it was funny because there was one time you could actually hear him telling the cat to try to be quiet.
Yeah, as I was saying, our dog really enjoyed that. We have a Jack Russell, and every time she heard the cat, she about jumped out of her skin.
Well, I told him too. I was like, well, you know what? I do have two of my own, so I understand. That's a lot of times why, like, I do have a separate studio, but sometimes I could do in the house. But the only reason why I don't is because the possibility of one of the two making a sound, and they can be very persistent. Yep. So, to say the least. So we're gonna kick it off here today with a band I've been wanting to play for a while, and finally getting a chance to. And I just talked to them literally probably about 20 minutes ago, just confirmed permission to play their songs. This is the band called Elm Treason. The song is called With You. Dig this.
to be alone with you. When you're not here, I don't know what to do. Now can't you see I wanna be with you? Well, you know I'm gonna find my way to you. You'll never hide, I'll find my way to you. When you're not here, who knows what I'll do? Now can't you see I want to be with you? I want to be with you. I want to be with you. I've got to be with you. To be alone with you. Oh, everything with you. Oh, oh.
Elm Treason with You. That is a great rockin' tune. I picked this song because of the guitar. I love those riffs. I love the solos in it, and it's just got that kind of mix of new but kind of old sound to it too.
Oh,
You know, almost like kind of a little bit. I honestly heard a little bit of Cream in there.
I hear that too. I have to say that is such a great start to the show tonight. So we've got Rockin' Saturday instead of Spacey Saturday like we did last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys are just great. They've got a little bit of everything in there, and they take the best influences from. Well, there's an awful lot of Beatles in there in terms of their harmonies and their vocals, and the musicianship is just so good.
Even the drum beats.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm a huge John Lennon fan, and that guy pretty much nails John. So I'm sold right from the get go. Great hook, well constructed tune, excellent musicianship. These guys are great.
That was fun.
And, you know, speaking of John Lennon, there's they've been up a few times. I've seen these pictures, and there's a one app called Chive, and the other week they had 10 things about John Lennon you may not have known, and there's some. They did one a while back too, some pictures, and it was pretty much Q&A with the Beatles from obviously years ago, and the one question they asked, and they're asking John and Paul, and they said, is Ringo the best drummer in the world? And John replies, so he goes, well, he's not even the best drummer in the Beatles. So, and that one always kills me, always makes me laugh, you know, and. So I just had to bring that up because I saw that, and there was just a few interesting tips. So just some pictures that you may have seen once or twice before, but you don't see too often. So, and some of them are kind of unfortunately a precursor to before he was murdered. But no, they showed a picture of John and Paul probably a day or two before he was murdered, watching Saturday Night Live.
Oh wow!
So a lot of cool kind of old pics, you know, and
yeah.
And actually, I was just listening to Imagine the other day, so good time to John Lennon there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, next up, we have another new song by Millie Manders. And last week, we heard Little Big Mouth, and today, this is a really good one. And the song's called Mr. Stupid.
I like it already.
Yeah, so dig this one. Millie Manders, Mr. Stupid.
wrapped up in a box. Look who got